please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And it is that time of the month again, time for a new Doctor Who magazine for us to review for your delight and delectation. How would I rate this issue? Mostly harmless. Basically, it's like reasonably interesting filler, slightly better than normal, right? But still, I would give it, like, if I'm gauging it from 1 to 10, I'll give it, like, these are like 6 out of 10 articles, but nothing overly offensive that I can see, right? Maybe. But it's very much treading water, right? It's very, very much treading water until November, right? When you know the kidney stone that is the Jodie Whittaker era will be past, and you know, I think they're hopeful that the Doctor Who will start becoming much more financially lucrative again. I have heard there are that the not the BBC, Bad Wolf now are dealing with many requests for new licenses starting in 2023, right? I think, you know, Russell Davies coming back made a big difference to that, right? So that's to be excited. That's to be excited about. Anyway, this issue, I know if you got a subscription, I'll be like, yeah, it's okay for a thumb through. Really, and there was a point in it though, right? And somebody mentioned it in the comments. I can't remember his name, but he mentioned it in the comments, and you see it's towards the end of the video when we're looking at the coming soon stuff. The BBC are putting out a second Doctor story read by Fraser Hines. I was like, well, that's weird. That's a bit big finishy, and it's weird that, and I didn't recognise the writer. I'm like, so what? Fair. And then Dan Hadley, who had dropped in from the Space Book, said, oh, wait a minute, I know him. He's a friend of the channel. He's a friend of my channel too. I had no idea. At that point, you'll see a turnaround where I go, oh no, you should all go and buy this. This is awesome. This is the best. And it was somewhat transparent, right? It was but that's me. Listen, if I could hide my true feelings in any way, shape, or form, I may enjoy gambling. I cannot, and that's why I'm a terrible gambler. I'm a terrible negotiator in general, right? The only time I ever did well in a negotiation is when was it? About 15 years ago, probably 20 years ago, we were, I was amazed, right? I was absolutely amazed. We had this little leak in our kitchen. This is when we lived in Miami. We had this little leak, and it rotted through one of the floors of one of the cabinets. And the kitchen was tiny. Like, you can't, like, our kitchen right now is huge, and we moved several times, but it was tiny, and so we made an insurance claim, and they gave us a whole new kitchen, right? The new cabinet said, we can't just change that cabinet. I was like, really? Really? Okay, I'm happy to be wrong. So they gave us a whole new kitchen, but my wife wanted granite countertops, right? So we're going to put some extra money in. The guy came to measure it and give us a quote. He was like getting started in the business. You know, he'd done it before, but this is his own. And it was just more than I could afford, more than I budgeted for. And I said, look, it looks great. I just can't afford it. I'm sorry. He's like, and he kept bringing the price down. He thought I was negotiating. No. I'm telling you, putting down so much. I felt guilty. Right? I'm like, okay, here, yeah. That's how shit I am at lying and negotiating. Okay, I'm very bad at both those things, right? I am not one who plays things close to my chest. Anyway, why are we here? Doctor Who magazine, brand new Doctor Who magazine. So for us to review, I have blurred out a bunch of the pages because I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike. I was hit with a copyright strike when I did one of these reviews a few months ago, and I'm still. Right, I'm still, you know, recoiling from it. And I had the strike removed though, which was kind of nice. But still, I was like, I don't want to do that again. So I blurred out, you know, a few of the pages. But generally, view this as your virtual thumb through, as if you're in W.H. Smith's. Is this magazine? Is this one ready? Good for you to buy? I don't know. It's up to you, mate. It's up to you. I bought it. I have a digital subscription, so I bought it. Maybe it will appeal to you too. I guess that's the point of a review. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. I'll tell you what I think a lot. Let me know what you think. Sign up my Substack, my email newsletter. I put out a bunch of stuff on there, free stuff like. Out-of-print comic strips, like the old backup strips from the Doctor Who Weekly. By the way, some of those are being reprinted in the new, Panini Dalek, was it collection? I wasn't sure whether to buy it because I have all of them, right? I apart from the Jodie one. That's just where I am. Oh yeah, one second. Can you see him? I go over here. Yeah, this is all of them, right? Right, I have all of them. But they never reprinted the backup strips, so they got all the Dalek stuff. So yes, I already have the Dalek strips, but they're going to reprint the Return of the Daleks, which was the first backup strip they had in Doctor Who Weekly. Oh, might mean I have to get it. Might mean I don't think I have a choice. Just the way it is, mate. Just the way it is. Anyway, I digress. Like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up my Substack. As I said, I put stuff out on there all the time. Fridays is New Adventures Day. I might start doing 8 Doctor Adventures as well. I think this week is going to be Transit. I like a bit of Ben Aronovich's Transit. Big Finish, every time I say it, put these out as books on tape, right? It's as a service to humanity. Look, it's a way of trying out new voice actors. Look at it that way. And if you're a voice actor, do it yourself, right? Do it yourself. I think that will probably take off. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. Also have a paid Substack. Just sign. If you that's a way of throwing some money at me, I'm not going to stop you, right? Like, share, I buy these magazines, so that'd be nice. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. We've covered everything. Apart from the actual review for Doctor Who magazine, which we're going to get into now. I'm going to hand over to me from last night when I did a stream on it. So handing over to me, I'll also get joined by Dan Hadley from the Spacebook about a third of the way through. So there you go. Let's hand over to me from last night. There you go. So listen, you do get a feeling they are somewhat treading water, but you also get a feeling they're kind of shedding Jodie. Slowly but surely. Even though they wasn't. But that's another reason the crazes are so crazy right now. Right? It's look, there's been a toxic element in fandom, and their world's about to go, and they know it, and they keep trying to tell themselves it's not. Right, but that's basically what's going on. Great cover, right? Great cover. So close you can feel their fire. I understand that comes from the ad. They put some money in this cover, and it looks good, right? I'm always happy to see a nice new Dalek piece. So good for them there. Interesting mix in this issue. Nothing I think is really that scintillating, quite frankly, but interesting enough. We may stop and read Elizabeth Miles' review of Redacted. Oh, you boy. And yeah, so this is very much about the Dalek movers. They got a nice feature in there. So what is this about? Let me zoom in so I can read this. It's about the BBC Century, the forthcoming display at the Science Museum in London will showcase famous items from the broadcast history, including a respray silver Nemesis costume. Well, I hope it's going to be respayed to be silver. According to Dr. Rachel Bryn, creator of computing and communications at the Science Museum, blah, blah, blah. This is a really boring news story, right? That's a really unbelievably boring news story. What's going on above? It's interesting. It really shows how, dated print media is. It's like, man, this is like old news, right? This is like, how long ago was this? Oh, it was about 10 minutes. But that's really how it is, isn't it? It's crazy. Fine, what's going on? This looks really good. I'm really actually into this. The Fly Drive, the new Troughton, not the new Pertwee disc. It's going to be like a very James Bondian. The next Toxic special is going to be on a guest I was going to give a shit. Show us shenanigans. Paul Marks has a book of Doctor Who in Rob on the Show. Secrets of the Scaravor. Early 23 Crucible games. Yeah, they're doing a new Jodie thing. Who gives a shit? I mean, I get it. If you love it, good for you. Enjoy it. Letters. And we get first Scooty fan art. Love a bit of Scooty fan art. Nice Cybermen. Let's see if I can zoom in on them. Yeah, I'm always a big lover of fan art. I really am. I'm a big softie. Let me just pull this up. Excuse me while I whip this out, she cried. Tell you, it always makes me laugh. Yeah, nice. Again, I love a bit of fan creativity. Fan creativity is awesome. Never liked Daft Dimension. Always missed Tim Quinn and Dickie Howard. Right? They were always the masters in my mind. Right? They were always the masters. Anything going in the Who anything interesting there? Not really. A forensic investigation into how, why, and where the movie Daleks appeared in the TV series back in the 60s. Yeah, Sylvester McCoy at a convention. Yeah, I would check that out. I would totally check that out. Again, nothing, I would say, scintillating. More fan art and custom Doctor Who figures and stuff and letters. Subscribe again, great bit of artwork there. I do like that. Oh, Lenny Henry, he's always so bloody miserable. I mean, really, every time I see him, he pisses me off now, right? I mean, like being black hasn't stopped you being insanely successful, right? You're more successful than most people, right? You worked hard and you earned it and you deserved it, right? And what doors were closed to you, right? I mean, look, you Rising Stars. Didn't you win that? They went on to Tiswas, made your name there. And they got they went from there to BBC, and you've had a solid career, right? And I've nobody said a black man. Oh, but that's how you act. The world is like I'm sorry. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings show is going to be shit, and you're going to look like a fool for being in it, right? That's what's going to happen. But that's just the way it is, right? I mean, like, you could have done black things from not things, like, not, I think, I didn't want to say people, like elves or whatever from a different part of Middle Earth that didn't screw up no, right? It was like they had an Africa there, right? But no, we got to be hobbits, right? Okay, that fine. Have fun with that, right? Have fun with that. This month in 1972, I was 1 year old. Was I 1 year old? I don't know, I wasn't even a year yet. Dad, the Daleks. So this is an interesting. Firstly, I love this picture. I mean, isn't it lovely? It really is. I mean, I don't really miss Peter Cushing's Doctor Who. I really wish Big Finish or somebody would do it, right? My dream is a Doctor Who animated series, like 12 or 13 episodes, like good quality animation, and with a different Doctor each week. And 1 week they could do a Peter Cushing, right? Just perfect. I love this Doctor. Anyway, so this is interesting. I see I've smushed this out. Ian Fleming. Ian Fleming's father, Gordon, still the only man to have directed Doctor Who for the big screen. They've been a constant presence in my life. And so this is an interesting wee article. I would totally have a peruse of this, right? Let me have a look. Hang on. I'm looking at Michael because I shudder to get copyright trouble. Something about him being an X-Men. I mean, look, certainly it'll be an interesting choice. Okay, if you want to do a Doctor Who, like a Cushing Doctor Who movie, do it with Jason Fleming, right? Yeah, can you imagine Jason Fleming doing a Peter Cushing Doctor Who movie? He can be regenerated into him. Great, I love this art. Oh, it's lovely. Or it can be like a reboot of him, right? Yeah, the Quatermass improvisation wasn't that great. What's he say about it? Let's see what he says about it. 1 second. Should have been great. As like Mark Gatiss, everybody in it. In April 2005, Jason took the title role in the BBC Force High Wire live recreation of the 1953 sci-fi classic, The Quatermass Experiment. Also in the cast was Mark Gatiss and a fast-rising star called David Tennant, who had just been on the receiving end of some rather exciting news. Yeah, the night the night we did the broadcast was the night we found out he got the Doctor, recalls Jason. He was playing a sort of lab guy, scientist, Gordon Briscoe. And at that point, he walked into the room and explained everything that was going on. I said to him, what have you got to tell me, Doctor? That wasn't the line, obviously. I just want to be the first person on screen to call him Doctor. And David just gave me this look, and he knew exactly what I was doing. Oh, good for him. Right. Sadly, it wasn't very. Actually, I got to check it. I haven't seen it in years. It wasn't great, right? But that's very interesting. We article, I think. Yeah, that's what I was saying. This entire issue is. It's like, I'll tell you what it is. Firefly, right? Firefly, great show. Even though what's his name? Josh Whedon is a piece of shit, right? Firefly, there's this on the pilot, in the 2-part pilot. So at the end of it, there's a crate inside the Mao's ship, right? And he's like fighting to see what's in it, and the doctor says, "No, you can't." But they open it up, and inside is a naked, unconscious Summer Glau, which always an interesting sight. So his response is, "Huh." So that's what I'm like with most of this issue. But you know what? Two minds are better than one. I am going to right now reach out across the ethosphere and create a gestalt entity. Fortunately, I have a mind that I can reach out to. A royal mind who is the king of the geeks. Sadly, he's only in Birmingham. And of course, Dan Hamley, king of the geeks. How
Contact. Yes, all the way from Birmingham. I don't get much contact in Birmingham, or none that I can speak of in polite company anyway.
Okay, that's good for you, especially in this weather. What's it? Karney Shomron? Yes, it was in 2005. They did a live action. It was live. Quatermass.
With what's his name? With Thingy from Jason
Fleming, David Tennant, Mark Gatiss. So apparently Jason Fleming's father directed the Dalek movie, so he has a big feature about it.
Yeah. It's one of those fantastic facts, isn't it, that every bugger knows? But yeah, it's good. This I've just picked this up now. It's right behind me on the shelf that you can't see.
Oh, there you go. Then I thought, wouldn't it be great to remake the Dalek movies with Jason Fleming playing Peter Cushing?
Oh, yes. Well, he does feel like the natural successor to those kind of 50s heroes. Who was the actor who played Quatermass in that third film? He reminds me of him.
Right. I got to give that Quatermass another look. Right.
Andrew Keir.
Anyway, sorry?
Andrew Keir was the actor's name, wasn't it? He reminds me of him.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of different Quatermasses. Yeah, 1 second. Let me.
Sexy cover, isn't it? It's a very sexy cover.
Great, yeah, you have it as a pin up at the back.
Yeah, even better.
Even better.
Yeah, fantastic.
Even better. So this is one of the features. And normally I'm not interested. This one, it looks really fun. It's about the sets from the Dalek Invasion of Earth. Earth. But I just love the render. It makes me smile. Right? I might actually read this. Amazingly, and I see the Robomen, I just go weak. I'm like, well, okay then.
all split level and the perfect color. Yeah, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I just wish they could just 3D print all this out. Right? Wouldn't it be one? I bet you can actually. I got to find somebody into 3D printing. There's a 8th Doctor console room for the 5-inch action figure range, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Oh my god!
But surely there's a huge market for that kind of thing. Well, hopefully, if the comeback of the comeback is a success, we might start getting play sets and things again.
I think so too. But I've been calming fears about Russell spouting off. But we'll get into that after this. But this set, avoid. If you haven't got it, I would say give it a miss. It's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to this. I thought it sounded like it got a lot of promise. Having said that, I didn't check out the writers. Have a lot of
promise. You're absolutely right. It did have a lot of promise. It didn't live up to any of that, unfortunately. It was like all the episodes were like 35-minute long each, and every time they do that, they drag forever.
I agree.
Like, cut it down. Stop being self-indulgent. And
they used to have really strict editing on a Big Finish. Actually, it could be going back to when Gary Russell was doing it. I think they've been found wanting on the editing front, on self-editing for probably over a decade now. Come to think.
Yeah, I agree with you. Although again, stuff like that Nick Briggs worked on directly, I adore. Right, I love the Beyond the War games. I freaking love that stuff.
I haven't heard it yet, but I think the thing is with Nick is that he's been writing audio for so long. I think that he has the kind of, how can I put this? He understands audio, and he could probably write for audio in his sleep. I think he understands the perfect pace.
I don't even think it's that. I think he understands that everybody's a human being, right? And that's what I was saying before. My impression with Rusty Davies is He's been speaking. He's been very political this week. Well, no, actually, he didn't. He made one speech, and people have said that validated their life because of it. Right? He made one speech, and then probably went home and had incredible sex. Okay, that's probably what happened. Right? And good for him. Good for him. I hope he has a good day. Anyway, but the it's superficial, right? The insanity of the age is superficial. That's it doesn't make any sense. The tenets of that it's nonsense. And we all know it's nonsense, right? I can't go into detail because if I say what's nonsense here on YouTube, they will censor me for saying it's nonsense. Why will they censor me for saying it's nonsense? Because everybody knows it's nonsense, right? Everybody knows the nonsense is nonsense, right? So I'm not sure.
Did you see the news today, Rabbi, about the dictionary definitions of certain being changed? Yes, I thought you might have done.
It's
dark day. They can't literally take away our voices, even YouTube can't. But so what they do, the equivalent of, is to make sure that we can't actually the words that we use don't mean the things that we intend them to mean anymore, effectively taking away our voices.
It's a purposeful, it's a war that we're in, right? I am a big believer that more hopeless as it seems, the more that things are going to turn around very, very quickly. I really do, in a very strange way, and I think coming up. Watch this space,
mate. I know that it's from tiny acorns, but we are seeing signs that cancel culture is cancelling itself simply because there's very few people left to employ if they want to actually make any money.
Yeah, it's bizarre, but but mate, look, the bottom line is this: the reason I think the current insanity penetrated very, very deeply Christian was writing is because he's a shallow person, right?
Yeah,
and his writing isn't genuine. I think Russell's writing is genuine. I think Nick's writing is genuine, right? And that's why I think he can articulate a very woke point of view, which he does often. Very successfully, right?
Because you said that Human Frontier audio thing that he wrote was quite woke, but you said it was quite good as well. It was quite
I was just going to use that as an example.
Which I still haven't listened to.
That's really good. It's really, really good. It's one of the best things they've done. I really like that. But yeah, I mean, that's why I'm optimistic about Russell's stuff. However, Silver and Ice, bit pants, really. They didn't pull it together. Sorry. So
it's nice. It's nice that they're going for season 24, and because that I wouldn't say it's being reappraised, but I think it's been brought in from the cold a little because of the Blu-ray set and things like that. So it's nice that they're playing with those ideas. But if it's going to be a piece of crap, then they might as well not bother.
It's not a piece of crap. I wouldn't say that. It was just the stories that they didn't work. They didn't gel. They didn't come together. Right? They need that. Listen, I think the script editing was weak on it. That's basically where I am. I think Nick's a good script editor. I don't know anybody else who is. There must be some out there. It's been weak, right? Anyway. So this article, I don't know if I'm interested in reading or not. It's a big feature on what's her name, Nikki Wilson, who's been working on Doctor Who for like 10 years, which I didn't realize.
I've never seen a picture of her before. I've never seen an actual. Right.
So she, by the way, it's all smudged just because I don't want to get copyright strike. But the
you hadn't got overexcited.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yes, the pages are stuck together.
She's hot, but she's not that hot.
She's not that hot. I know. So I'm going to start reading this and see if it's any good. We got a message saying, I think we're going to need a motorbike chase at some point. That was such an embarrassment, right? That was such an insane embarrassment.
Well, you've only got to look at that picture at the bottom to remember how embarrassing it was. It was quite clear that Miss Whittaker had never been on a motorbike in her life ever, that the thing wasn't even switched on in any way, shape or form. She was
still useless.
Mate, do you remember those old films they used to show with George Formby and when he was doing the TT races? And on the blue screen. That's what it reminded me of.
We should do that in black and white with the music. When I'm playing in winter. Yes.
Oh, cheap shots, everybody. I know cheap shots, but hey,
well,
the nice show.
Like, yeah. I do. I got this video tomorrow when I go over this rumor that the BBC don't like the final cut of the centenary special.
Talk about
mess. I'm like, what do they fucking expect? I mean, really? You're going to Chris Timbrell tonight? What do you think's going to happen? You're going to get Citizen Kane? What the hell?
Well, this is a case of them signalling to everybody at the same time. It's like the people who pretend that they're looking forward to it. At least they're putting it out there. Look, it's going to be on. You know, have it. It's here. But at the corner of their mouth saying, "Yeah, we know it's crap as well, everybody." But go easy on us.
Selling it most, Russell T Davies, totally selling it.
Well, yeah, if it wasn't for Russell, I don't think anybody would be aware that it was. I'd have completely forgotten about it.
The rumor is they're going to start trailers in August, and it's on October 16th. I don't believe that rumor. Okay. It seems way too far out.
It is. I think the anniversary, the centenary, I should say, is the latter part of October, isn't it? So I had in mind that it would be around that mark, but I don't know where the people who are putting this date out as a definite, I don't know where they're getting it from. They probably just looked at the calendar the same way that I have. I don't know.
Yeah, and again, I don't see them start advertising it in August.
I think it's possible they'll start. I think it's possible they'll start advertising the centenary in September. First week of September, and actually, had a Joe Biden moment then. Sorry, everybody. I think it's possible we'll see the first trailer for the event for the BBC centenary on August bank holiday on 29th of August, whatever that is.
Fair point. I don't see a bit of local knowledge. See, this makes me not want to read it. The best bits about being Rose. Oh God, Rose was just a massive virtue. Leave me alone. The script was awful, right? Absolutely awful. But look, she's been there for everything. I mean, okay, Sarah Jane Adventures, Dr. Apparently she's very important, okay? I'll start reading it and let you know if I'm interested. This is actually, okay, they go real deep into the, there's no need to get the box sets anymore, or the botanic movements. Everything's in this issue, right? About that you're going to need to know. So they have a good interview with Surgeon Dmitry Sabisky about their father's work. That looks interesting. I'm certainly going to read that. But then we actually get a deep dive into this, the script.
Fantastic.
So I got to do it. This is the third video I'm going to have to make on this. Literally the third video.
Well, we did it a couple of weeks ago on Type 40 Live as back to the feature, but we only had that article that Matthew Sweet had put out in was it the Telegraph, something like that? Yeah. And that was really interesting. And he had said on Twitter that DWM had got the exclusive. They'd got their grubby mitts on the actual script.
That's what they're doing. So it's it goes.
Good God, that man's got a big forehead. Did you see that? Good.
Well, that's the
as you were.
Buskies, whatever his name was.
Wow.
But it's so weird. It's a pertwee new Doctor story. But they got the whole thing. Like I'm like, okay. But it's just weird. It's a pertwee and new Doctor story. I like how you came up with that, I don't know. And they're casting Sting as the new Doctor.
Look at that picture of Peter Cushing as well. Absolutely.
I know. Oh, wonderful.
Classy movie stars back then, weren't they, everyone? Classy movie stars.
I got, what was it? So what I'm thinking of. Mesmerized. What page was it here? I'll show you. What page? No.
Do you miss those days, mate, where there was like real class acts like Peter Cushing knocking about? Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny when Will Smith slapped what's the name? On the Oscars. Even Jim Carrey was like, "Well, it's over, right? The whole movement is over." And he's really right. He really is. But yeah, this is lovely. I mean, it really is. I love a bit of Peter Cushing.
I do see sometimes film stars and TV stars, and I think, they've got something of that kind of quality about them. People like Idris Elba. But there's still, I don't know. It's just like it's all gone. It's all when you know everybody's dirty washing and things. It's all gone.
Again, I think that era is coming back. I think era having people you can look up to is coming back.
I'd like to think so.
I really do. I really do. But anyway, I'm the crazy optimist that I am. So bowing out. This is an interview with Sigun Akinola. You only bow out if you've been in any way successful. I mean, I guess you've been successful in that you got somebody to pay you for 5 years, making you did 3 tunes and you reused them, and all the tunes were bad.
He didn't get fired and no one really called him out because everybody else doing their bit was much more visible and even worse. I think that's the upshot of it.
I mean, again, on the strength of your work, I don't believe if your name was Reg Smith and you're white and lived in Clapham, you would have got an interview. Okay? I don't think your work sold it. I think your identity sold it, right? So, and it's not me that did it, right? I think it's abhorrent anybody would do that, but I think that's what happened. Right.
So I always feel that I can't speak so much on that because I know so little. I know a fair amount of directors. Watching movies, you pick up directors' names, but I don't know a great deal about composers. Okay. And so when I look at I noticed that Problem Being's in the chat, and I know that he's well up on that kind of thing. Obviously, audio and things, and he could probably tell you a dozen people who would have been better for the job than Sagan, but I can't. So I feel like I shouldn't comment. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I mean, have you ever watched Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who and going, "Oh, that's a good bit of music," or did you normally go, "It's incredible"? The pain I'm experiencing is actually made worse by the awful music that they've shoehorned in here that just doesn't work in any way, right? And it might not be his fault. The Murray Gold's first take on it, they rejected. They said, "No, that's awful. Do something romantic," right? They told him no. Chris Chibnall can't tell Sigun no on anything because he's black.
I don't think Chris Chibnall can say no to anybody who's been in his employ over the last 4 or 5 years.
If he feels that you're not a threat to him, he will say no to you. Quite happily. So anyway, he has this article saying he's leaving Doctor Who. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Musicians around the world, music lovers rejoice. The music lovers amongst Doctor Who rejoice. Weirdly, they put some Doctor Who vinyl album ad right next to the Sigun Akinola article, as if anybody likes music in Doctor Who will be anywhere near that article. Very strange. Maybe if they split where they went past it quickly, they'll see.
Yeah, it's that kind of bullseye thing of this is what you could have won, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Stay out the black and in the stay out the black and in the red. Nothing in this game for 2 in the bed.
That's the one.
Up the hockey side, up the hockey. Dun, 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 dun,
oh,
dear.
Yeah, give Sagan his BFH, his bus fare home.
He was perfect. Jim Bowen was perfect for Bullseye. Okay, he was born to play Bullseye. So this is really cool. This is a lengthy, in-depth article. That's something I'm interested in. 20 years on, the seminal Big Finish audio spare parts dared to depict the genesis of the Cybermen. Paul Hales asked the fans and admirers to tell them why they do like Mondas. Why they do like Mondas. This is a great little. I mean, I haven't read it. Looks like an article that I'm excited to read. Right? I like anything that does a deep dive.
Well, when you were looking at, we're talking about stories now. This line of products, this range of stories, has been around for almost as long as, say, the classic series was. So I think it's right that I don't think we can lift it up to the same level as a TV show because there's that paywall to listen to it for the most part, apart from the stuff that's on Spotify. But stories like this are out and out. They're out and out classics. They deserve this kind of archive-y type treatment, don't they? And reverence.
I completely agree. By the way, let me just zoom in. This is why Capaldi is awesome.
Oh, wow.
You forget how awesome he was as a doctor. Oh, he's so good.
That's what a hero looks like. It's that simple. It doesn't matter whether he's 24 or 60. That's what a hero looks like.
Yeah, he was fantastic. I loved him. Anyway, you didn't know you had it so good. So I am excited to. I hope I like this article. I'll be surprised. So they got a big collecting thing about the Dalek movies.
That artwork, that Thorny MI artwork from the rental tapes that were out in the 80s down the top left.
Yes,
just beautiful.
I remember them. I do remember them. Didn't have anything I see here, but I did. My wife bought me one of the Product Enterprises Daleks, a red Dalek.
Yeah, I've got one of those. It's behind me, in fact, on another.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's Rosie. That's not Product Enterprises.
Oh, next to Rosie, there is a Product Enterprises Dalek.
Oh, so I had this is the big one with the remote control. Do you ever see the remote control?
Oh, I saw them. Yeah, there was one in the window of, I think it was Forbidden Planet in Birmingham for years.
It's retro design, like really, really lovely, right? They really nailed it. And then they lost the license to not Product Enterprises. It was who's doing it now?
Oh, that. I can't remember. I can't remember who does them now. This is it called this Island Earth or this Planet Earth, something like that?
No. Who does the action figures?
Oh, you mean character?
Oh, character options. Yeah. So Product Enterprise was before character options. So.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, listen, I remember that Dalek Mania thing came out. I'm looking forward to these things coming out on download. So I can watch the right, and I watch it in 4K. I don't have a 4K viewer, right? I like a player. I can only have the file. Problem is, says he used to have a red Dalek. You would rev it up, and it would shoot sparks out there. I remember those. It belonged to my dad when he was a kid. It's a toy since long since gone now. Yeah. No, I saw it on a show. I didn't have one. I was going to say, I remember it.
I think this lad who lived around the corner from me when I was a kid, I think he got one of those. I think it could have been part of a game, some sort of play set. And I remember thinking, no, it wasn't one I'd ever seen on the television, because there was all sorts of other weird paraphernalia that he got too, which was Dalek related. But it was, do you remember those games you used to get with magnets in them and they'd revolve around? It was one of those.
The thing would turn, whatever. It was always a useless game, as I recall.
Oh, bloody awful.
I don't understand. If Character Options put out a Cushing Dalek set, they wouldn't be able to make enough of them. People would snap those up.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they? They can't get the rights.
You could do a bunch of sets like those. You could have a whole range. You could have like Aladon. And also have I love how they do the boxes. You can make them into dioramas. You can have the Cushing TARDIS in the background. They couldn't make enough of them. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I want to rank on this, but it's drawn by friend of the channel, Russ Leach. So go ahead and buy his book. Only Death Can Save Us.
Russ is a superb sequential artist, isn't he? And the way I see it, pick up the money, Russ. Go and buy yourself something nice, mate.
And I hope they keep you on in the age of shooting, right? I'm assuming they're going to, and your page count will go way up, right? You're only doing 6 pages a month, and I find that agonizing. Hopefully, by a couple of years from now, they'll be on a good 8 or 12 pages a month. So that'll be awesome. There you go. I always like looking at the Who one ad, right? Always fun. Anything interesting there?
I like some of the homeware.
Sorry?
I like some of the homeware. I love that. There's a TARDIS teapot in one of the stores. It's not that one. There's one in a shop that I was in. It was in HMV. I was in HMV the other day.
Oh, I know.
They got a great TARDIS teapot. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Right. So Zygon Invasion, Zygon Inversion, and Fact or Fiction. I'm always heartbroken that that the ending never worked for me on this one, right? So the problem I had with Zygon Invasion Inversion is that essentially the Doctor gives a very good speech at the end, and the bad Zygons are moved and want to make peace, right? But it was an allegory for ISIS. And that doesn't work, because ISIS would never do that. They're like, we will die or kill you. That's the choices, right? That's it. And I would have thought that'd be a much more interesting thing for like the fundamentally pacifist Doctor, who's a
Peter Harness wrote that story, didn't he? And not Stephen Moffat. I suppose Stephen would have scripted it, because he used to do things like edit scripts and actually send them back for second and third drafts, unlike Chris Chibnall, who would just go to screen with whatever. But I agree with you completely about that. I always thought it was clunky, and it was I think it needed some sort of just sanding down.
It needed a polish. It really needed. It was nearly there. There was a lot in it that was very good. I like the Clara taking over the Doppelganger and Clara. I like the shooting down the plane a cliffhanger. There was a lot good there. But
do you think looking back, mate, that not just this story, but several ones in particularly series 9 and 10, it's as if they knew that with some of these things that were a harder sell and that needed a bit more work, that they could always rely on Capaldi to find the truth in there somewhere and to.
They probably did that during his first season, which, to my mind, was the weakest. Now,
by the way,
I always like they made Evil Clara a little bit sexier. Like she wears a
she's shade of red. So hot.
Doesn't do it for me. Too preachy, too sistery, right? But okay, whatever. So fact of it, I always find fact of it interesting. It's the sort of thing I go over in the bathroom.
Yeah, but it is. These are the ones that I tend to. I either read them as soon as I get the magazine, or I think I'll read that in a few days, and I forget until the end of the month until the next one comes. It's funny.
Well, I get my daughter to print out a bundle of 30 pages or so on a. She's got this cheap laser printer that comes out beautifully. Yeah. So I print them out and I read them on Sabbath. That's basically what I read them on the shitter. I thought you were going to say. Oh, I do that too. I read them on Sabbath on the shitter. Not having a cigarette because it's Sabbath. All right, I don't smoke anymore. I used to love doing that when I was young. When I was 18, 19, 20, I used to love reading the paper on the toilet without smoking a cigarette. Oh my God, bliss. The 80s were awesome, everybody. 80s were awesome.
God, what's that? That's a nice illustration there.
Yeah, this is a review of Beyond the War Games, the second story, which I think was weaker than the first story. I like the first story a lot. It was a very weird, weird time breaking down type story. Kind of like not as much, but kind of like the War Doctor, Doctor of War, the Colin Baker Unbound story, where he was Tom Baker destroys the Daleks, which is a use of the regeneration. Another set that coming out soon, which I'm looking for. That was a good one as well. They're three very weird stories, right?
They're getting their money's worth out of John Colsher, aren't they? He's in pretty much everything they do.
Are. Is the Peter Davison story they got coming out next month or whatever, 40 volume 2, is that like a 12-part story?
It seems to be one story, with the Autons.
Right.
About 12. I've done about 12 parts. I can't quite remember, but I think it is one story.
It's 3 this long, so it's basically 12 parts.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it must be, then, yeah. Ambitious. So,
unless 2 discs and a story, I don't know, we'll find out. No interest whatsoever in getting these Angela Bruce sets whatsoever. Have you?
Oh, God. See, I feel a hypocrite now because I've been saying they should use Angela Bruce for years. I think she's wonderful. And yet, you're right. There's something about these unit releases that just don't seem to reach out. It doesn't help that all the covers look the same.
True.
I think this is simply a case of so many Big Finish ranges and what would have been a big event.
Yeah, and they got it. By the way, we're going to get to that next. I got a printout of their entire 2023 schedule.
I saw that. It's on Reddit, but a couple of the Big Finish people have already come out and said that it's a lot of old.
Well, look, it does seem to, although a couple of things were confirmed already since it came out, but we'll have to see. Okay. It probably is. Leave me alone.
Yes, I have got Doctor Who Redacted. A couple of punters, a couple of our Type 40 punters have asked me to talk about it. I thought, well, most of the others don't do the audio, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to it, then I'm probably going to review it.
Okay, they're not. I listened to the first 2 parts, right? They're not bad. However,
it looks horrendous
on really vile people, right? They focus on like they're all like. Just everything's. It's like people you never ever want to be around. They're like these whiny kids who will talk about how hard it is to transition.
People you don't want to be in the company of, have got nothing really to say and nothing of any value that they can bring to anything. It's like you say, it's that voice. It's all right to say we want to give voices to people that don't get heard, but when they're irritating wankers that nobody cares what they've got to say anyway, then is it really worth it? And I'm certainly not going to No, oh God, no! I've put myself right off listening to this now.
Look, but I think it's not badly written. That would be my guess. God just says, "You have the unit set. Let me know. Let me know what you think when you get when you hear it." These books are not going to sell. Why aren't they going to sell? You tell me why they're not going to sell.
They're not going to sell because that bleeding logo's on it. It's that simple. I know it's superficial, but it's that simple. And James Moran is a good writer.
Thing like that, that logo. Not only does that logo represent bad Doctor Who, it's badly designed. It looks horrible there. Like it doesn't work in any way.
You know as well as I do. Okay, we're looking at a DWM spread here. The title is right across the top in purple. But just focusing on that book jacket, what's the very last thing you can read on that? The title of the frigging book. Absolutely ridiculous. It is ridiculously bad design. And considering that the guy, there's two guys that do those illustrations. You can say they shouldn't really be aping Chris Achilleos' style. They should be moving on, and I'm very sympathetic to that. But they're nice illustrations for what they are.
I think they're respectful to Achilleos without pretending to be him. Right?
It's a fine line.
Not him. It is a fine line. I don't think any disrespect is intended.
I know, as you know,
which I'm sure disrespect is intended.
Yeah, well, look at all the space, the way that the graphic designers get together and talk about these things. The distribution of space.
This is what went down in my opinion. They came out the first range, which had the classic logo on. Chibnall's office had a fit. He had a fit about it. He insisted they use the Jodie logo. They're like, but it's not good. Doesn't work. Look, so Jed, put it on. So he just puts it on. And I think probably wanted the thin line at top at first, was my guess. And
they let him
read it. And they said, how about that? Right.
Well, with that last wave last year, they gave special permission for the stories that were needed to complete the classic range, the Pirate Planet. That was a once only thing. And it was very strictly said that afterwards they're going to use the new logo. But this is going to be the old logo in next to no time. I mean, this style, I'd like to see the Target books continue. But honestly, I think that just playing on nostalgia, particularly when you've got writers like James Moran, who's willing to come to this range and to work on these stories and to bring new life to them. Yeah, Chris Achilleos, he said to me personally that other artists, this homage stuff, on one hand, it's very flattering, but he really didn't like it. It sort of incensed him. And I creatively says it's not fair on the artists themselves to be aping him. And it's not fair on him because obviously they can't commission him now, bless his heart. But his feeling was, if they want Chris Achilleos to do it, then ask Chris Achilleos. And
I didn't realize he was alive when he was doing it.
Yeah, he was. I won't say he was hurt by it, but he was. When I spoke to him about it a couple of times, they should have. They should have come to him
first. Obviously, I'm surprised they didn't.
No, he was. When he saw them, he was as surprised as the rest of us.
I mean, do you think they're putting out this edition just hoping they can get to a second print with a new logo?
I honestly don't think they're thinking that far. Doctor Who merchandise and all these licenses, I think they're running on Steam now. I don't think they're thinking any further, or certainly when these books were commissioned, I don't think they're thinking any further than November, December. I understand that a line of merchandise is starting to appear for next year, and I've spoken to people who won't. We're not going to get anything actually appear in solicitations probably until November, December at the earliest. But apparently they've been approached for new licenses since the David Tennant's announcement and the Ncuti Gatwa stuff. People are interested again. And
not surprised. Yeah,
obviously Target doesn't necessarily exist anymore. It's owned by it's a brand. It's little more than a graphic that the BBC have licensed to use.
It's a nostalgia imprint they're using just for this. I mean, even with the slightly off-white color, right? That's supposed to make you feel of yellowing pages. That's supposed to that initiate, give that
slightly opaque
feeling.
Look. Yeah.
Do you ever do the crossword? I never do it, and I'm useless at it.
Oh God, no, okay, it's not my cup of tea at all.
Win stuff. You can win different stuff. What you can win? I'm kind of intrigued to get this Emancipation of the Daleks, but it's too long.
Isn't it on for about 3 days? That's it.
Sorry?
Isn't that set on for about 3 days? This 40-odd discs or something?
No, it's like 6 discs, but it's like broken into 3 episodes. So I don't know. I wish they would just do 3 disc books on tape, right? Just do novellas. They don't have to go on forever. Well, you can get the Blu-ray steelbook sets of the new Dalek movies. That's worth winning, right? That's worth winning. I got out the Gallifrey stuff. Basically, I always was irritated with Lala Ward huffing. Because I never enjoyed paying for that. But then when they had Lala Ward huffing mixed with bad Donald Trump analogies about, it's like, oh God, leave me alone.
I'm starting to think, as exciting as some of this artwork is, and people like Ken Bones being in there, and Richard, whose name I can't remember, playing Rassilon, all those people, I think now I'm starting to be thankful that I didn't listen to anything once they brought them back and started the Time War stuff. I've heard the original 3 seasons that Gary Russell did, and I thought those were pretty much perfect. So yeah, everything that I hear about this series, it's also all fur coat and no knickers, I think is...
I mean, who's it? They got Sophie Isles was writing an episode, and she's like I think a poor fan artist. But I got nothing against her. It's just a style of art I find very, very simplistic and not doesn't convey lots of talent to me.
No comment.
She wrote a story, and it was sorry.
I'm gonna stick with the no comment on that one.
Okay, so but also purely on a professional level that she wrote the story. For Time Lord Victorious, which wasn't very good, but I think she got. Listen, there is a definite elitism in the Doctor Who world, right?
Yes,
which is always a boy, and they always say it's great. There's no elitism in photos of them being elitist together.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Basically, what's going on with her. So I from what I heard, she's not from her first release. She hasn't been rehired on the basis of talent, right? I'm kind of glad to be out this range. So I'm getting this the next night's Doctor one, but I'm not going to get the one with the stranded people in it. Leave me alone.
I can't believe they're doing that. What a way to tank.
So dumb.
Oh my!
I don't know. I'd love to see the sales data. I really would. Right, the sales data. I mean. Is it killing it? I don't know. They're not acting like it is, but okay. And then BBC's got a book coming out. I don't really care. Who's even reading it? Is it written by Fraser Hines?
Probably Fraser. Oh, is that written by Will Hadcroft?
Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll let you know. 1 second. It's zooming in. Written by Will Hadcroft, read by Fraser Hines.
Will is Will is a guy who watches and listens to our stuff at Type 40 and
1 second. Let me wind this back. You have to buy this release. This is going to be the greatest release of the year.
I had no idea. I had no idea that he was. Well, I knew that he got a blog and things like this. I didn't know he was a published. Right, I don't know him very well. Well done, Will. Yeah, if you're watching. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, Resurrection part. I saw this and I was surprised that like BBC are doing this, not Big Finish. I thought they seem to be overlapping very much with that. These are always kind of fun, sufficient data. Never read them, but they look pretty. And next month we got nothing to talk about, so we're going to do a thing about the war games and fact or fiction. We're going to talk about the Gunslingers, a thing on Donald Cotton, Page Turners, our guide to collecting scripts, and the season survey. Oh God,
that's going to be a good one.
Help us. Beyond the war game set, very very good. I do like it a lot. It's a solid release, and we get to see this gorgeous cover again.
Wow.
I mean, sadly, it's got the Jodie logo on it, but it looks lovely. I mean, it really looks.
I mean,
great,
just think if that was on a poster, naked as the day it was born, you could pin that up. Yeah, just fantastic stuff. I love the swirl as well. The Doctor Who and the Daleks style.
Oh, yes,
swirl.
I didn't notice that. It's very subtle.
It's just beautiful.
So close you can feel their fire. Okay, so I don't know. Is this a recommend this issue? Mostly harmless. That's what I'm calling this one. Mostly harmless. If you have a subscription, don't cancel it on this one. If you don't go and buy it at counter price. How much is it? Like $6, £6? Like ridiculous.
It's an unbelievable $6.99 retail when you pick it up at a newsagent. If you can find a newsagent who still stocks it, that is £6.99. Which I'm not saying they don't put effort into it. I know they do. But I still think that's a bit effing steep, Marcus.
Hey, listen, you are expecting it to come with some sort of hand job at that point. But my name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.